Mrs. Jones is a 46-year-old woman who has come to see her doctor for her routine annual physical.
Nice to see you. How have you been feeling?
A little tired lately, but no problems otherwise.
That's great. Kids doing well?
Yes, extremely busy, but at least they are healthy and happy.
Ah, that's good. I see that your cholesterol levels have gone down. Have you been able to stick with your exercise classes?
Well, I try, but it's sometimes hard with the kids being so busy. Seems like I'm always driving them around somewhere.
Even if you're able to take a walk during lunch or your break at work, that would help.
That's my goal over the next couple of months. I have a friend who wants to do the same, so maybe we can walk together.
That's good. Doing it with someone can really help. How have you been eating? When we last talked, you were going to try and include breakfast every day and cut down on caffeine.
I'm trying to eat breakfast every day, and I've definitely cut back on coffee. I've noticed a big difference, and I'm not as jittery at the end of the day anymore.
That's really great. How about alcohol? Do you sometimes drink beer, wine, or other alcoholic beverages?
Mainly wine. I like to have a glass or two with meals. It's good for your heart, right?
Yeah, as long as you're drinking moderately. A little wine is fine.
I really like to have it with meals, and my husband usually drives if we go out. He's a designated driver.
Ah, you're lucky he's willing to do that. Good for you.
We know that the patient is drinking some wine with meals, but the daily and weekly quantities were not determined. Any opportunity for education on the low-risk drinking guidelines is lost. It's important to also use caution with the word moderately or moderate. What does moderate mean? It's common for the alcohol industry to use this terminology in its advertising. Drink moderately, drink responsibly. Unfortunately, this can be interpreted in many ways. This patient sees wine as beneficial to her health and not as serious as beer or hard liquor. This myth is perpetuated in the media, which has linked wine with heart health benefits. It is important to emphasize that all alcohol is equal and educate on the size of a standard drink. Also, ensure the patient understands that any health benefits from alcohol can be attained from as little as one standard drink every other day. Now we're going to repeat the same scenario using CAGE plus 2+Y. Following the tool will strengthen the assessment and the outcome of the brief intervention.
That's really great. How about alcohol? Do you sometimes drink beer, wine, or other alcoholic beverages?
Mainly wine. I'd like to have a glass or two with meals. It's good for your heart, right?
The key to starting alcohol screening using the CAGE is to begin with an open-ended question without quantifying. We have learned that the patient does drink alcohol and that she perceives wine to be a safe choice due to its health benefits. Studies have found that the sensitivity of the CAGE questionnaire is dramatically enhanced by an open-ended introduction, such as, "How about alcohol? Do you sometimes drink beer, wine, or other alcoholic beverages?" In contrast, the sensitivity of the CAGE questions is greatly reduced when preceded by inquiries that seek to define the quantity and frequency of drinking.
Have you ever felt that you should cut down on your drinking?
No, I don't think I drink that much.
How about your family and friends? Has anyone ever criticized your drinking?
Oh, no.
Have you ever felt bad about your drinking?
No, why would I feel bad? I just figure I'm doing my heart good by drinking wine.
Do you ever have a drink in the morning to steady your nerves?
No, I avoid having anything until at least after lunch.
You say you drink mainly wine. How many glasses of wine do you have on a typical drinking day?
Probably 2. Sometimes my husband and I share a bottle with dinner, so maybe more than that.
Can you give me your best estimate?
Well, during the week, I would have 2 glasses with meals. But on Friday and Saturday nights, I may have more like 3, especially if we go out with friends.
So you normally drink wine every day of the week?
Yeah. As I said, I like to have wine with meals.
So that's about 7 days a week and 2 or 3 drinks per day. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's about it.
That's 14 to 21 drinks per week.
I guess. Hey, is that a problem?
We now know that the patient is drinking beyond the low-risk drinking guidelines. On each day of the week, she's having 2 to 3 glasses of wine, or 14 to 21 drinks per week. The recommended daily limit for a woman is 2, and for a week is 9. Again, this patient sees wine as beneficial to her health and not as serious as beer or hard liquor.
The health benefits from alcohol can be obtained from as little as 1 standard drink every other day. We now know that drinking beyond certain levels can increase your risk for chronic diseases such as stroke and some cancers. The amount that you are drinking could be putting your health at risk. The recommendation for women is to have up to a maximum of 2 drinks per day and a total of 9 drinks per week. It's good that you're spreading your alcohol use out over the week, but you should avoid drinking any more than 2 drinks per day. Having at least 1 alcohol-free day a week would also be beneficial.
Boy, I had no idea. I wish I'd known this information before, but they make it sound like wine is so good for you.
Again, I strongly advise you have no more than 2 drinks per day. Here's some information about the low-risk drinking guidelines. Since wine glasses vary in size, I just want to be sure that you know that 5 ounces of wine counts as 1 standard drink. There is also information in this pamphlet about what a standard drink is.